Today I want to talk to you about how to find and remove dead inventory. If you're like most Amazon FBA sellers, you might have a slow leak in your disbursements, money that is just leaking out of your disbursements every month because of storage fees that you should probably not be paying. Now, yeah, storage fees, monthly storage fees are important and necessary, but you just want to be sure you're only paying storage fees on items that you're going to sell sometime soon. If you've got items that have been sitting in your Amazon warehouse for over a year, sometimes 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 6 months for some products, it might be time to move on, pull the plug, and get rid of the dead inventory that's not making you any money. So today I'm going to talk to you about a couple ways how to find the dead inventory, to be able to, diagnose which of your inventory is dead or on life support. It's pretty obvious which items in your inventory are alive and kicking. They're the ones that you keep seeing showing up in your sales, the items that continue to sell and continue to increase your disbursements. But there's that one big storage fee, monthly storage fee, that could be taking money from your disbursement every month for you to pay for items to be stored in Amazon that you don't need to be there. Earlier on the full-time FBA Facebook group page, I posted that I was really enjoying getting rid of and removing a bunch of my dead inventory. And someone commented, how can you tell the difference between a dead inventory item or a long tail item that's just going to take a while to sell? And I was like, that's a really good question. So we'll talk a little bit about that answer and then go deeper into removing dead inventory. First off, long tail items are items that are going to give you a big enough ROI, a big enough return on investment, that you're willing to wait a long time for that item to sell. Maybe you bought a book at a thrift store for $1, and you know what? You're willing to wait a year to be able to get a $30 sale. Or maybe you bought a toy at a garage sale for $5, and it's pretty rare toy, and you've looked at the camel data, and you're like, it only sells 4 times a year, but it sells for about $100. I can wait, maybe 6 months or maybe a year before I actually get to that sale. It's a long tail item. It takes a long time, but the ROI that you're going to get is worth it. Now, dead inventory items are items that I think have been sitting in an Amazon warehouse for too long. You've been repricing it over and over and over again. It still won't sell. You looked at the sales rank and it just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And you're like, the price was great. The sales rank was great when I first sourced it. But now the prices are tanking. The sales ranks are going through the roof. And I'm just like, what can I do? I've tried everything to get, to sell that item. Well, some of you might think it's going to sell eventually, so I might as well just pay, 8 cents or 7 cents a month to store it at Amazon. But is it really going to sell? I mean, and plus, at the price that it's at right now, is it going to give you enough capital back into your business quick enough? These are things that you need to think about. So think about I would go in, and after I tell you the ways that I find possible dead inventory, you want to look at the sales rank of those items and kind of see how many sales should I expect. Go look at Camel, or Keepa. Try to count how many sales have gone on in the past and see, okay, what prices were these sales at? Could I be able to sell that item at the prices that I want? Or even if I lower the price, could I sell it at a lower price and be able to get rid of it that way? But when you realize that the item's never going to sell, it's time to pull the plug. And so there's 2 ways I find dead inventory. Number 1, I sort through my inventory items and I look at my oldest items first. When you go into Seller Central, you click on inventory, and then there's different ways to sort your inventory. And date created is one of the ways. So you just click on the date created, make sure that you're putting it and sorting it from oldest to newest, and it will show you your oldest inventory items. You want to make sure you're just looking at active inventory items, because the inactive ones are not, they're already sold. So you look at the active inventory items and you look to see what's been there the longest. Like if it could be 2013, 2014, 2015, whichever one is the oldest, and then try and look and see, what, should I try to reprice this? Have I repriced this already a few times? And some of the items, maybe you should lower the price a little bit to try to get rid of it, especially if it's been there for almost 2 years. I mean, you know, there's one thing about being patient to get the price that you want for an item, but there's another thing about continuing to pay monthly storage fees for an item that's never going to sell at the price you want. So think about that. Try to reprice it to get the sale, and if you realize that's not going to happen, it's time to remove it from your inventory. A second way that I like to do it is I go into the inventory health report, and you find this by going into the business reports section the fulfillment reports section on Amazon. Check on inventory health report, and then you download that report. The download comes as a TXT file, but I always open it up in an Excel spreadsheet format. You can open it up in whatever spreadsheet that you use, and then you can go through and look at all the columns, and then you can sort for sales rank. You can look at the columns and sort from the highest sales rank to the lowest sales rank, so you can just jump right to the highest sales ranks that you have. And so you can go through and be like, oh, this is a high sales rank for books, or this is really huge for toys, or this is a really high sales rank for kitchen, and realize, man, this is a high sales rank because it hasn't sold in a really long time. And again, you go through that decision process. Try to lower the price to get the next sale, but if that doesn't work, it's time to remove it. And removing the item is really easy. Removing the item is really easy. When you're in the inventory view on Seller Central, at the very end of the screen, there's a little edit button, and there's arrows right next to the arrow button. You can just click on that arrow button, and it opens up an option for you to create a removal order. And so when you go create the removal order, there's two ways to remove it. Number one, you can destroy it. And when you destroy it, sometimes Amazon actually does destroy it. They burn it and to get rid of it. Sometimes they put it together in a big lot and sell it as a huge lot to somebody. Other times they try to sell it themselves in Amazon warehouse deals. Most of the items that you see in Amazon warehouse deals are items they've either Amazon's damaged and they're selling it, or someone wanted to destroy it, and Amazon's like, we'll take possession of this and try to sell it as Amazon warehouse deals. So you can destroy it, or secondly, you can have it shipped back to your business. Wherever you're doing business, if it's a warehouse or in your home, you can have it shipped back to your house. And then from there, you can do what you want with it. You know, you can try to garage sale it, try to Craigslist it, maybe eBay. You can try to, give it as gifts. I mean, I don't know about you, but we've had some toys in our inventory that were dead inventory that are now going to be birthday presents or Christmas presents coming up soon. So it's a great way to get some gifts for your kids or loved ones that you have. So whatever you do with it, you have it removed. And it's so cheap to have items removed. It costs like maybe 20 or 30 cents for an item to be destroyed, and then it costs 40 to 50 or 60 cents to have an item sent back to you when you set up a removal process. And so, I mean, it's really, really, really cheap. And so I just encourage you to go through your inventory, find out what items are not selling, and if you've tried everything else to sell it, and you've looked at camel, and you realize this is just not going to sell. It's not going to, I need to get rid of it. Then set up those removal orders, and that leak in your monthly, or that leak in your disbursement is not going to be as big, and you'll be able to have more money. You'll be having more time because you're not wasting a bunch of time completely having to reprice everything all the time and dealing with that decision process. And you're going to be able to use the capital that you're able to get back on all of that to reinvest in your business for better inventory, because you're not wasting money on storage fees that are unnecessary. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you scroll down, you can see that you can like this video, leave a comment or a question, and you can see whatever links we talked about in this video in the description below. And to find out how to turn part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA, hang out with us on the blog, fulltimefba.com. I'll see you there.